Namaste. Welcome to Nirvega Vidya. In this video, we shall briefly cover chapter 5 of the Bhagavad Gita, which is Sannyasa Yoga. Now, the chapter 5 begins with Arjuna asking Krishna, which is better, karma or sannyasa? Now, in the preceding chapters, we've seen Krishna glorifying both. We've seen him glorify the path of doing actions, karma yoga. He has also glorified the path of renunciation, where one, with the strength of knowledge, he lets go of his grasp on the world and becomes a sannyasin. We've seen him glorify both. So therefore, Arjuna gets the question: which is better of the two? Is it better to renounce everything altogether, or is it good to work? Now, Krishna says that while both are good, both the Karma Marga and Sannyasa Marga, both are good, Karma Yoga is better. Now, when we come to the 6th chapter, we will be seeing Krishna addressing this question of Arjuna in a better manner. But right now, what he says is Karma Yoga is better. And he adds that anyone who sees Sankhya, which represents Sannyasa here, and Yoga, which represents Karma here, in the question of Arjuna, as different from one another is deluded, since the fruit of both disciplines is the same. They are like two rivers which ultimately lead to the same ocean, and therefore anyone who sees them as different paths or as one better than the other, he's a deluded person. That is what Krishna says. They are both great in their own place. They are both equally efficacious. He is a karma yogi who finds in the midst of intense activity the greatest rest. Now, this is a statement made by Swami Vivekananda. He makes a lot of wonderful statements about karma yoga, and this is one of those great statements that he has made. He says, Vivekananda famously said that a karma yogi should be in the world, but the world should not be in him. He should be completely engaged in all the activities of the world, but those activities should not be in him. Meaning to say that Karma Yoga is not the renunciation of action, but rather the renunciation of the attachments of action, the fruits of action, the expectations that we have when we engage in, when we, initiate an action. It is the renunciation of those things. Those extra baggage has to be, that is what has to be renounced. It is not the action itself. And the ideal of Karma Yoga is to be in the world just as a lotus leaf is in water, completely unattached. Padma Patra Mivam Bhasa. That's the statement in the Bhagavad Gita. He says a karma yogi has to live in the world just as a lotus leaf rests on water. It is completely in water, and yet if you remove the lotus leaf, you will see that there is no water attached to it. The surface is such. Basically, the idea is that the karma yogi should be involved in everything. Even though he is involved in everything, he has no attachments. He is not attached to anything. He is not repulsed by anything. That is the characteristic of a karma yogi. That is how he has to live on earth. Samadarshana or equality. This is another concept that Krishna repeats multiple times in chapter 5. Krishna explains how when one attains knowledge of oneness and looks upon all beings with an equal eye, he becomes established in karma yoga, which is doing works without being bound by them. Here again, we see Krishna speaking of a synthesis between jnana and karma, in the sense that Karma Yoga naturally results when one attains knowledge of oneness, which is the knowledge of the reality of the universe. So we see how attainment of jnana results in one becoming a Karma Yogi. So he says that a Pandita is one who can look upon a Brahmin, a cow, an elephant, a dog, or even an outcast with an equal eye, Samadarshan. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Shvapakecha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. A Pandita is one who can look upon all these people, all these diverse creatures with the same eye, with an equal eye. He has no attachments. He is not repulsed by anything. He looks upon them as the same reality. That is the lakshana, the characteristic of a Pandita. This is a very popular shloka. Such a seer of equality is liberated even in this life. The word ihaiva is repeated by Krishna. Ihaiva means here and now, right here. Now, again, there are different conceptions of mukti. There are different kinds of mukti that we find in Vedanta philosophy. There is Jivan Mukti or Jivite Mukti, which is what Krishna refers to here. Jivite Mukti is to be liberated while living on earth, in this body and mind complex itself, to be liberated like this. People like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa or Ramana Maharshi or Vivekananda, whoever we consider to be self-realized people, are Jivan Muktas. They are alive and they are functioning with this body and mind, and yet we consider them to be liberated people. So Krishna talks about this. This again is a key point that Advaita Vedanta believes in. Advaita Vedanta believes that such Jivan Mukti is possible, whereas other schools only believe that Mukti or liberation can happen only after death. Only after one is freed from the body-mind complex, liberation ensues. So that is called Videha Mukti, where one leaves the body and then enjoys Mukti. But here we see Krishna referring to Jivan Mukti, where he says, even in this life, Ihaiva, liberation can be attained when when one becomes a seer of equality. Therefore, Krishna instructs Arjuna to give up his attachment to sense objects, cultivate equanimity, overcome desire and wrath, and perform actions as a karma yogi. Now, this is a brief summary of the fifth chapter. There is, when it comes to the NET exam, I don't think there is any specific concept in the fifth chapter that needs to be given special attention to, unlike the previous chapters we've seen. But this is a brief summary, and Krishna concludes by saying that by enjoining Arjuna to give up attachment to sense objects, cultivate equanimity, overcome desire and wrath, and perform actions as a karma yogi. Now, these again are concepts that we will find repeated multiple times throughout the Bhagavad Gita. The concept of equanimity, samatva, the concept of giving up attachment to sense objects, being detached, giving up attachments, repulsions, all these are widely repeated concepts that we will be seeing. So with that, we come to the end of this video. If you found our video helpful and if you liked the video, kindly do subscribe to our channel. Also share the channel and the video with whoever you think would benefit from it. That would be an excellent way of you showing your support to our endeavor. Thank you.